Hey folks, welcome back to PBS 2.0. Again, I'm Gene Kowalski, 7.5 captain in the Washington domicile and a former PBS 1.0 instructor and trip trading initial cadre. As I mentioned before, I wanted to talk about one of the most powerful reserve bids. Now, I haven't bid reserve for a long time, so I'm not going to go in depth in all the nuances of reserve bidding. I'll show you how it starts. But I want to talk directly about what a non-profile reserve bid. First off, I hate the name. I wish it would just say contractually legal bid, because that's really all it is. The simplest idea, United Airlines pilot contract provides that United can have up to 80% of the pilots on reserve on any day. So that means at least 20% of the pilots have to have the day off. But what that doesn't mean is that anybody has to have a calendar that they're very happy with on reserve. I'll give you a very simple example. In November, the last 3 days are Thanksgiving and the 2 days after. Those 3 days together could be days off. They don't have to be holy. So let me give you an example of something that would be completely legal and not very satisfying. United Airlines could award 27, 28, 29 to 20% of the pilots, so they'd have these days off and not holy, and 24, 25, 26 off to the other pilots, but not holy. And since this is an international domicile, they could move these around to the point that nobody would functionally have Thanksgiving off, even though that's a completely legal calendar. So what if I wanted to have the last 6 days of the month, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, if I wanted these holy? There is no contractual requirement whatsoever for United Airlines to allow that award. I need you to sit and let that soak in for a minute. There is no reason whatsoever for United to allow anybody, even the most senior reserve, even somebody in the top 10% of the domicile bidding reserve, to have the week of Thanksgiving off and holy, making sure that it's a satisfying calendar. So because of that, we have what's called non-profile reserve. Non-profile reserves are a really simple idea. As long as the reserve award is contractually legal, United Airlines is obligated to let 20% of the domicile receive that award. And there's a calculation, and don't worry too much about it. But when you go into the reports tab and go into the system documents and the bidding parameters for October, I'll show you. So in my category, DCA 7.5 captain here, as you scroll to the left, you see these numbers over here on the right, and these are the reserve numbers. So it's saying that they will award 1 compressed line to a captain, 2 to FOs, 2 long call reserves to captains, 3 to FOs, and then the approximate number of non-profile reserves, 4 and 7. So this number tells you the number of compressed lines you can get, this number, the number of long call lines as opposed to traditional reserve, and then this one, the approximate number of non-profile or contract only lines. And notice for this month, there aren't any early check-in or short call lines for my category. So how does that impact our bid? So I'm going to go back to the current bid. And to bid reserve, it's actually pretty easy. Obviously, you start with a reserve bid group. Now you have to pick the type. Notice my choices are traditional, compressed, or long call. This reflects the same information that last document. There are no VEC lines or short call lines in my category, but I could pick any one of those. So let's say I pick traditional reserve. There's no additional day because the line construction average is greater than 70 or 77 greater. So that's not an option. So I save that bid row. Now let's say I want to require Thanksgiving off. I want it off and I want it holy. So I go to the validity period. And I say I want 24 through 29 off. I go done, save bid row. This would be the minimum bid that I could submit. And if I check the legality on this, it'll determine whether or not that's a legal bid for me. Now I want to cut to the chase. I want to show you a few bids that I did. So this one right here, I labeled it non-profile reserve. So this is a non-profile reserve bid for me. It knows the days of availability I have. It knows that I've got this carry-in trip. So what I asked it for in this one, I said, I want the HDOs here in the last 6 days of the month. And then I want to require Sundays and Mondays off on a weekly basis. So there we go. I've got this Sunday and Monday off, 5-day block reserve. This Sunday, Monday off, 5-day block reserve. Then I've got this 4-day period off, right? But I'm on reserve this Saturday and Sunday. Why? Because this requirement for holy days trumps this requirement for weekly off. It has to, otherwise the calendar won't work. So be careful when you're requiring off RDOs versus HDOs. But this is a contractually legal calendar for my availability for the month of November. If I bid this and I am the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 reserve, I will absolutely get this calendar. This will be my award. So I won't even need to look at the day off patterns. If I see that I'm the first pilot and at 37%, highly likely I'd be the first pilot getting reserve, this is what I'm going to get. So don't get wrapped around the axle on the word non-profile reserve. Just think it is a contractually legal award that United Airlines has no obligation to award to anybody. And this idea of grouping 6 holy days over the holiday, that's a pilot thing. Would United choose that? No. So what non-profile reserve does is it helps protect pilots who are only able to hold reserve to still have highly satisfying senior calendars. So let me go back here. I'm going to show you a couple of the other reports here. So one, I also checked. So I checked this one. In this one, I asked for Saturdays and Sundays off. And once again, this Saturday I was already flying, so it gave me this Sunday off RDO, this Saturday, Sunday off, this Saturday, Sunday off. But once again, it overrode that Saturday, Sunday request in order to honor the higher priority, which is the 6 holy days at the end of the month. Let's look at one more. I asked for a compressed line. So this would be the compressed line I would get. I'd still get the 6 holy days at the end, and I would compress all my reserve days right up to the Saturday and Sunday before the Thanksgiving week. So if I ask for something that isn't legal, all right, I want to show you this one. In this one, all I asked for was the holiday, right? The 11th of November. So I asked for this holiday off and Thanksgiving Day. So just those two. So I asked for 2 holidays on the 11th and the 27th. It said it couldn't award me this. So even if I was the number 1 bidder of reserve in the domicile, this line could not be awarded. So that's the beauty of the legality check. If you are able to get a successful award, you know 2 things. One, if I am one of the top, in my category, 4 bidders of reserve, this is the line I will get. And 2, it meets the contractual obligations for 4 reserve day blocks off, no less than 2 days each, an FDO on one of them, up to 6 holy days that can be split into up to 2 groups, things like that. So when you're bidding reserve, get used to the idea of looking for contractually legal awards that the company might not be all that wild about. And if I go back to the one that I was showing you in the beginning, it's a pretty good calendar. Why? I probably won't work much if I bid this. Why do I say that, Gene? Well, first off, Thanksgiving week, no one wants to fly. Everyone is front-loading their November calendar. And I'm only covering, I've got this Tuesday through Saturday 5-day, a Tuesday through Saturday 5-day here. Tell you what, I'm going to go to my other one. Hang on, I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to go to this one where I have the weekends off. So on this one, I'm only covering a 3-day block here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I've got a Monday through Friday block, and then a Tuesday through Sunday block. Well, who's flying during these periods? The senior. So I'm covering, on Wednesday the 5th, I'm covering Zurich. I'm pretty sure that person wants to go to Zurich unless they're sick. On this Monday and Tuesday, I'm covering let's say 4-day Madrid on Tuesday, or 4-day Sao Paulo on Monday. Pretty sure those pilots want to go unless they're sick. And even on this last week, most people are willing to fly this weekend of 22-23, even senior, in order to get a long set of days off during the bid period. So the likelihood of me covering any actual trips on this particular calendar is extremely low. That needs to really be emphasized. Non-profile reserve calendars can be designed in a way that it's highly likely you will do nothing for the entire month. So with a calendar like this, I suspect you'll fly once, you'll fly a senior trip, and you'll fly something you can't hold on a normal bid month. So that's the idea with non-profile reserve. If you've got any questions, add them to the comments. But I look forward to showing you the exact same non-profile reserve calendars for the month of December, another highly powerful way to get the entire month off.